Alright guys, today we're gonna be reacting to why Germans love bread so much. Thank you so much for the support, guys. We're gonna simply jump into this video. Bread, I love bread. Thing is, the bread in the United States is very carby, sugary. There's a lot of sugar in our bread. But it seems like in the German bread, you guys don't have that. We're gonna simply react to it. Make sure you like to subscribe. We're heading to 10,000 subscribers, but our next stepping stone is the 4,000. So make sure you subscribe and help me get there. Jump in.
Was möchten Sie denn gern?
Ich hätte gerne ein Brot.
Wir haben Weißbrot, Roggenvollkornbrot, Kürbiskernvollkornbrot, Mistbrot, Viersaatbrot und viele andere Brote noch.
Oh,
It
that's
turns out
nice.
Germans are pretty crazy about their bread. And no wonder. In fact, there are over 3,000 different types of German bread. That means if you ate a different kind every day, you could keep going for 8 years. I grew up in Scotland where sliced bread is pretty much the standard, but my German dad used to bake a different kind at home for us
She's from Scotland? She have a different accent.
every week. So I got a taste of the culture from a pretty young age. But why are Germans so crazy about their bread? Let's find out.
Let's find out.
First of all, no, bread baking was not invented in Germany. The oldest bread remains are over 14,000 years old and were found in what is now Jordan. Bread is one of the world's most common and oldest foods. Many countries have their own types of bread and
love
flour.
that.
By the way, the country where the most bread is consumed per capita isn't Germany, but Turkey.
There may be other nations that eat more volumes of bread than Germany, but you'd be hard pushed to find somewhere where bread is as integrated into the culture as it is here.
There's a TV show hosted by a loaf of bread, and even an annual competition, Bread of the Year. In 2022, it's the wood-fired bread.
It's no wonder that German bread culture is a UNESCO World Heritage.
Hey.
All you need to bake bread is flour, salt, water, and yeast or sourdough. Different types of flour and such ingredients as grains provide variety. Ulrich Kinzel is a master baker in one of Berlin's oldest bakeries. But ingredients alone do not make good bread. The process does too. Knead the dough correctly.
The water is very important too. The water makes a difference. The water makes huge difference, folks.
Shape it and let it sit. Then bake it in the oven for just the right amount of time.
Es gibt kein anderes Land, das so eine ausgeprägte Brotkultur hat wie Deutschland. Brot ist halt etwas der ersten Dinge, die man vermisst im Ausland. Also da merkt man, dass die Brotvielfalt, dass es etwas sehr Deutsches ist und dass das wirklich nur hier gibt.
So why are there so many different kinds of German bread? Well, it all comes down to history. Germany wasn't always a united country. It used to be divided into several independent states, each of which had their own kind of grains and their own ways of baking bread.
You know what? I'm
Bread
feeling.
can be
You know,
eaten at-
I'm feeling that one. The little burn outside of that bread. I'm feeling that one.
All times
that
of the
one.
day. A classic option for breakfast would be some bread rolls, maybe with some jam and
man.
cheese, typically served with a boiled egg and a glass of orange juice.
Hey, and the little egg too.
Then there's Pausenbrot, which literally translates into bread break. Typically a sandwich with maybe cheese or meat eaten around 12 o'clock. And finally, there's Abendbrot, evening bread. Typically a darker rye bread with, again, cheese, cold cuts, and probably some radishes or pickles on the side. As the Germans say, guten Appetit.
That's a nice sound. You heard that?
But
Nice
the
sound.
centuries-old culture is under threat. A few traditional bakeries are still thriving, but many supermarkets and discounter stores are taking over. They don't bake their bread from scratch, but they do sell it on the cheap, meaning that the number of bakeries and the people wanting to learn the trade is in decline. 60 years ago, there were over 55,000 bakeries
Wow.
in Germany. Now that number has dropped to just under 10,000.
Some of you guys were telling me that you don't earn a lot of money doing it. So if you work for a bakery, a local bakery, you're not making a lot of money. Maybe that's the reason why. Now, I don't know how you manage. I don't know how you can increase the salary of some of these bakery, right? Because it's all demands. You might, as the CEO of your little bakery, or the owner, you might have to take a huge cut to just increase some of those wages. But then at the same time, you might be running very low for your own income.
While many bakeries are closing down, others are putting new concepts to the test, like the Kite Bakery in Berlin, where they believe less is more. Only 5 types of bread are available. Owners Kolja Orzeschko and Tanos Petalutis gave up their jobs at German sports brand Adidas to open the bakery with its 2 branches. All the ingredients come from within a 100-kilometer radius of Berlin.
Also tatsächlich gibt es hier Brot an jeder Ecke. Also man kriegt das mittlerweile in den Supermärkten, an den Tankstellen und Brot ist eigentlich überall verfügbar, gerade in Deutschland. Für uns war es aber auch nochmal wichtig aufzuzeigen, dass Brot Freude auch bereiten kann und dass es so besonders ist, dass wir sagen, wir machen wenige Brote, aber die dann besonders gut.
Also wir backen ausschließlich natürlich. Wir benutzen wirklich nur Mehl, Wasser und Salz im Brot und Sauerteig. Und wir glauben, dass das Brot dadurch nicht nur länger hält und bekömmlicher ist, sondern einfach auch besser schmeckt.
Well, I think that's different concept. I think you have to make you might have to just do like a coffee shop kind of thing. Just mix it up with something where people can go and just enjoy themselves while buying bread right there and there. That might increase the income and just open a new market instead of just selling bread alone.
Grew up appreciating German bread, but who can blame them when it plays such a huge role in daily life and is so connected to the history of the country? Hopefully, Germany's bakers will be able to keep the craft alive for many more years to come.
Hopefully. I think, like I said, it's up to the Germans, right? Let's see what's going on here. I hope there is a revival of bakeries in Germany. It's a beautiful part of the culture. I love German bread. I agree. I lived in Hamburg for 4 years, and after having moved back to Canada, I miss German bread so much. A good Brötchen with some Pig and Käse for breakfast will be so nice. I grew up eating the American-style bread, and I didn't like it so much. Just after living in Berlin for almost a year, I realized how rich, tasty, and nutritious bread it was. It was an explosion of flavors and easy to find anywhere and at any time in the day. Long live German bread. Yeah, I agree. It's just a matter of making sure that, some of these folks really help the culture. These, people need to pay bills, man. So if the Germans are willing to help, hey, more power to you. Make sure you like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.